Okay, so welcome to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. My name is Julie, and just welcome. So some of you have been coming before, and some of you, this might be your first time here. And sorry, in the beginning, you'll see me sort of slightly getting distracted sometimes as people come in. Just bear with me. So welcome. And as a reminder to everyone, and then as an invitation for especially those of you that are here for the first time, but of course, again, for everyone, my invitation to you always is to practice with kindness to your body and to yourself in general. It's really easy to get into sort of painful patterns of thinking or negative patterns of thinking. And I'm prone to it as well, just like anyone else. Even after practicing yoga and meditation for the last 17 years, the reason that I practice these things is because I think it does keep me a bit sane. So my invitation to you is to just spend this hour practicing with loving kindness towards yourself, and to practice with a sense of gratitude for the fact that you are here right now and you're breathing and you are part of this big planetary ecosystem, and that's pretty amazing. So yeah, and just remember that whatever you practice, you get better at. So when you practice approaching yourself with loving kindness, you will get better at that, which is good to know. So the session tonight, I think tonight especially, we are going to focus on the hips. Last week, we focused on this idea of uterine blood flow. Though that being said, to any guys, males that are here right now, this class is still for you, even if I do mention the uterus. Okay, I know you don't have one if you're a dude, but but this session is for everyone, male or female. And in this session, however, especially just for those of you who are here for the first time, this session is safe for anyone at any point in the IVF process, unless your physician tells you otherwise, okay? But otherwise, this is a safe session. We avoid things that you need to avoid, and we practice things that can be beneficial. So tonight, we're going to focus on waking up the hips a little bit, which is good for everyone, especially if you are someone that types or just sits at a desk a lot of the workday. So let's start. The first thing to do is to find a comfortable centering position. And for that, you have two options. You can either sit or you can lie down. So those of you who have been at a desk all day, I do recommend lying down, actually. So you always have two options. Also, when you lie down, you can either lie down and put your feet on the floor, bending your knees, or you can extend the legs all the way out if that feels okay to your lower back. However, if you have lower back sensitivities, just put the feet on the floor and bend the knees. If you're sitting, just sit however you're comfortable, with the legs crossed, maybe on a cushion or a bolster. They don't have to be yoga props. They can be, cushions that you pull from your couch. All right. So let's start. And sorry about the light. Some of the light bulbs here are going out. But Yeah, if this is your first time here, I'm not actually in my house right now, but in 2 weeks I will be home. So our session in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to have the normal spots, so the light will be a little easier. Just bear with me until then. Okay. So once you find your centering position, either seated or lying down, take a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale and roll the shoulders up and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax your shoulders down. Relax your hands, either facing up or down, just whatever feels better to you. And close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do that as many times as you need. Inhaling calm, exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. And then once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice your breath. Notice where it lands in the body. And as always, I just want to invite you to notice without judgment. There's no need to label the breath as good or bad, or the way that you're breathing as good or bad. It all just is as it is. And then take the awareness and just bring it to your face and start to relax through the brow. Relax and soften along the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. Take that same awareness down to your hands. And start to soften and relax through the hands and the fingers. And just check in with your body right now. And notice if there is anywhere else where you might be storing tension or strain. If that you can release simply through this noticing. So maybe you're holding the shoulders up, or you might even be engaging a muscle without realizing it, or you might be holding your toes tightly. Just check in with your body and just relax whatever you can relax. And from here, take the awareness and bring it back to your breath. And start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose and take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale back out the nose and feel the belly roll back toward the spine. So we always start with that deep diaphragmatic breath. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. And just start with some of these deep Dirga breaths. And for those of you more familiar with pranayama or yogic breathing, if you want to come into an ujjayi or an ocean wave sounding breath, you can do that now by constricting in the epiglottis as you breathe. So it's a bit like inhaling and exhaling the word home as in place where you dwell. Home through the nose, in and out of the nose, but without activating the vocal cords. So it's just this ocean wave sound. Don't worry if you're new to this and that seems like too much right now, or if you just don't want to do it. Just keep breathing deeply, whether the Dirga or that more audible Ujjayi breath. We'll take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. And from here, just before we begin moving, without labeling or judging, I'd like you to notice what kind of language you use internally and possibly externally about your body and the relationship that you have with it. So again, just without attaching any emotions or being carried away, there's no need to judge, but just notice if there's a pattern or some repeated sentences or thoughts that you have when you think about your body or when you interact with your body. And then ask yourself if these are the kinds of things that you would say to a loved one, to a friend, a pet, a partner, even a plant. I know that sounds weird, but I know some people also really love their plants and talk positively to them too. So if you say things to your body that you wouldn't say to another living thing, just imagine how your body might feel and respond to your thoughts, to your words. And if it resonates for you, set the intention to start to shift those words in this practice this evening, to celebrate your body, to celebrate yourself as you are. Alive and worthy just for being alive. And then start to ready yourself for movement now. And draw some movement back into your body, just letting yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh. Just do whatever you need. And then from here, if you are currently lying down, just start to bring yourself up so that you are coming up to seated. I'm just trying to figure out where I can go, where you guys are going to be able to see me the best in this space. If this is your first time here, I'm actually not in my home in Oxford, but I am at my boyfriend's parents' house in Italy. We came for Christmas and then never left, but that was not the plan. It's just better to spend a lockdown here. So, all right. Because they're not in lockdown here. All right. So again, apologies for the slightly shadowy appearance of this session. Next week should be better because I won't be in this space, and the week after I will be home. So all better then. Okay, so bring yourself up to a seated position. Cross your legs. If you find that you're sort of drawn back here, that sitting up like this is really uncomfortable, or if your knees kind of jet up toward the sky, sit up on something. Grab a couch cushion or a nice thick pillow, something that you can lift your hips and your sits bones. And that should make it feel more comfortable to sit like this. All right, and then let's inhale, lift the arms, and exhale, release. And again, inhale, lift, and exhale, down. And then inhale, lift. And then this time when you come up, I want you to interlace your fingers and then turn your palms up to the sky and then stretch up as best you can there. Just a nice stretch up, up, up. And turn the knuckles back upright. And then from here, I actually want you to drop your left hand down towards your spine. Take your right hand, bring it to your left elbow, sit up tall, very gently pull across, but very, very gently. And then sitting up tall, I now want you to also lean slightly across. So we get that really nice side stretch as well as the shoulder stretch there. All right, inhale, take it back through center. We're just going to swap hands. So now that right hand is coming down toward the spine, left hand connects to the right elbow. We gently pull across, starting just upright. And then we start to lean to the side. And then inhale back up through center and unwind your arms. Take your hands down to your knees and inhale, take your heart forward, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the chin in toward your chest and round back. And again, inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, chin into the chest and round back. Take one more. All right. And then take it up to neutral. Now, take your hands, bring them just somewhere behind you where you can then unwind your legs. It doesn't matter which direction you unwind in. So you're going to have one leg coming out front bent, the other going around the back bent. Okay? Then, if you were up on a prop, so if you're up on a cushion or a block, just go ahead and pop off of that now and just set your bottom on the floor. Okay, now from here, the foot doesn't have to be right against the opposite thigh. They can have a little bit of a gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll over the feet, over the edges of the feet, side to side, like windscreen wipers. So we go back and forth. Okay, avoid picking up the feet. That's a really common thing, but let's just roll over the edges. So starting to say hello this evening to the hips. Okay. And then when next you take it to one side, I want you to pick up the backhand and you're going to adjust the nearby hand just however you need so that you can swing the back arm up and you're going to lift the hips, lift the pelvis, take the bum off the floor, reach the arm up, and then you take it down and you windscreen wiper over to the other side and you lift up. So you come into that back bend, also starting to open the hip flexor, open the chest, and we take it down and just have a play with this. If you're thinking, what the heck is this? That's okay. Just go with that and have a play. Side to side, a few more. One more to each side. And take it back and forth on the windscreen wipers, just a few more. Okay, when next? I feel so evil when I teach this one, and I know I'm not, but because it's really good for the hips. So when next your left leg comes in front, so you've got that left leg bent out front, right leg around the back, right heel toward the right buttock. I just want you to place your left hand on your left knee, take your right hand, bring it into the hip crease on the right side, and then we're just going to go forward and back. So buttock up and down. And just take a few more of those. I just said my internet connection was unstable, but then it went away. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, now I want you to take your hands and bring them to your left knee. And I want you to roll the shoulders back and open up through the chest. Okay, so we're just nice and proud there. And if this is enough, stay here. If you think you want to take it a little further forward, walk your hands out. You're going to keep walking, and then maybe you come down onto your forearms. Maybe you stack your fists and take your forehead onto stacked fists. Or maybe you take your forehead all the way to the ground and extend the arms out. That can be pretty intense for some people. Oh. Okay, it's frozen. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. Oh, okay. Let me know if you can see me again. Okay, guys, what about now? Am I back? Am I back? Yay! Thank you. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. There's, yay! Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm not sure. Oops, now the screen's moved. Okay, so yay! Okay. Basically, the house here is in a rural country house in Italy, and it's made up of lots of materials that Wi-Fi does not easily pass through. And so there's Wi-Fi spots all through the house. So if my Wi-Fi switched to one of the others, it could have caused that problem. So I'm sorry. Okay, again, soon this will not be an issue. Okay, so I'm not sure where it stopped, but I'm just gonna go back to the pose I was doing when you said that it stopped. So we have the left leg out front and the right leg out back. And we're going to take the hands and place them on the left knee. And then we roll the shoulders back and we open up the chest. And then if this is enough, you can stay here, or you can start to walk it down, coming down onto your forearms. Or then if you can take it further, stacking your fists or stacking your palms, or taking the arms all the way out in front and taking the forehead down. That's a pretty deep stretch. And you just need to go to the point that is right for you and your body in this moment. And I just want you to take about 3 to 5 rounds of breath there. Just remember that there's another light in a different room. I'm going to try to put that on. Someone's trying to come back in. Okay. So, all right, from here, start to lift the head, lift the heart, come on back up. All right, and then from here, you guys are gonna wish the Wi-Fi hadn't kicked back in. So what we are going to do now is I want you to take your hands and you're going to leave them on that left leg, and then you're going to lean into it. And you're going to pick up the right leg behind you like a dog having a wee, yeah? And you're going to take an inhale here, and then you're going to exhale, and you're going to kick that leg out, ha. And we lean, ha, in and out, breathe, inhale, ha. You're gonna feel that hip flexor. A few more, ha. One more. Okay, kick it out. Gently take that right leg down in front of you. And then from here, you're going to just take the left foot, bring it into your right thigh, extend the right leg all the way out. Tip it down a little more. There we go. And then take your fingertips either side of that right knee, flex the right foot, roll the shoulders back, take a nice big inhale. Oh, and then exhale, walk a little lower. But if you have back sensitivities, just keep the heart toward the front of the foot. If it feels okay to you, you can play with rounding down, taking the head down toward the knee or the chin down towards the shin. Okay. And then we lift the head, lift the heart. So if you were here last week, you might remember that these types of folds, these are, theoretically, these are good for stimulating blood flow for the uterus. So anytime that you want to play with a fold, just take your time to do it because they can also be quite relaxing. Now, working the hip a little bit more, maybe a little less relaxing. I want you to take the left leg, flex the foot. So flexing is when we make it flat, okay? So sometimes the flex versus the point can be confusing. So we want to flex where we make the foot flat rather than point like a ballet, okay? So flex the foot. And I want you to bring that left leg out in front on top of your right, but avoid putting it on the knee itself, okay? That won't be comfortable. You want to bring it up onto the thigh. And you might get a little deep tissue massage from your ankle to your quad. Again, perception. It's a deep tissue massage, okay? And then I want you to roll the shoulders back. Take the heart forward. And then lean in again. Ooh, should hopefully feel that in the back of the leg and then maybe around this hip here. And if you want to round down, that's fine, as long as that feels okay to your back. Okay. And then start to bring yourself back up. Take hold of that lovely left leg and either hold the knee and the foot in your hands or take them up into your elbows. And I just want you to rock that leg a little bit, and you should really feel that right down into the hip. Just take a couple more rocks there. And say thank you to this leg that takes you everywhere and has taken you many places throughout your life. And gently place that leg back down. And then we're going to swing the right leg back, and then nothing fancy, just lean back and adjust your legs. So you can swing them around, picking the feet up, or just however you need. So now we're going to the other side. So take your right hand, place it on your right knee, left hand coming into the hip crease on the left side. And then we take that forward and back. Often one side might feel easier. It's normal. It's worth being aware because even the way we stand can create these types of imbalances. So if you tend to stand into one side or the other, do two more. Okay, and then take that bottom back down toward the ground. Both hands come onto the right knee, and we turn to face over the right knee. We roll the shoulders back and we sit up proud, elongating the spine. And then if this is enough, stay. Otherwise, we start to walk down. And then you can either stack the fists and take the forehead under the stacked fists if it's available to you, or do the same with the palms, or extend the arms out and take the forehead down. Try not to fall to your side as you do this. It's sort of easy to come into a very awkward resting pose, I suppose, by falling into the side. Keep it squared over that knee. Okay. And then lift the head, lift the heart. Hands come back to the knee. And then this is our trickiest, toughest part, I think, for the session tonight. So just like before, we lean into it, we pick up that back leg, we inhale, then we exhale, and we kick that leg out. Ha. Ha. Take really big inhales through the nose, as if your breath is helping to launch that leg forward. Ha. 4 more. Ha. Okay, when next the leg comes forward, take that foot down. All right, so then that left leg comes out in front of you and we ground through the sits bones and we take the right foot into the left thigh. We flex the left foot, roll the shoulders back, take your fingertips either side of that left leg. Connect into your breath. And then exhale, start to walk it a little lower, but again, start with your heart moving toward the front of your foot. And then if it feels okay to your back to round down, you can take the head down toward the knee or the chin down towards the shin. And start to walk yourself back up. Take that right foot and bring it out in front. You were hoping I'd forget on this side, right? Take that right ankle, bring it out onto your left thigh, flex both feet here. And then I want you to roll the shoulders back, sit up tall, and then exhale, start to lean in. And you can either come down with that arched or flat back, or you can start to round. And you might find that you're a bit like me, that you won't be able to get nearly as close when it's like this. That's okay. This is helping to open up the hip, which the hips are notoriously tight for many people. Start to bring yourself back up. And then I want you to pick up this lovely right leg, either in your hands or in your elbows. And then just rock into that hip a bit. And also thank this leg for all that it does, all the places it helps to take you, the places it's always taken you. All right. And gently place that foot down and draw both feet together. Adjust your sits bones as you need here. So just so that you can sit as comfortably as possible. Not everyone has props, but you're always welcome to use them if you have them. So if, for example, your knees really come up here, you can take, my other blocks back there, but you can take a couple blocks and help support your knees. If this looks really good to you and you think you want to do this in the future, you can get blocks online really easily. Just look up yoga blocks or yoga bricks. So know that you're always welcome to use props if you have them and if they serve you. All right. Interlace your fingers over your toes and then roll the shoulders back. Take the heart forward, inhale, tractioning up through the spine, and exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Again, you can come down with that flat back to start. And then if it feels okay to you, you're going to round down, taking the head down toward the feet. If at any point you are getting pain in your knees when we are doing these hip openers, I always want you to take it back to a point where you no longer feel pain in the knees, okay? Your knees will overcompensate for your hips, and we want to protect the knees always, okay? Okay. Start to lift the head, lift the heart. And then from here, keep your feet out in front of you. You may want to bring them a little further forward. And I want you to then come down onto your forearms. So you're on your elbows. So elbows in line with your shoulders. Okay. And then see if you can come all the way down onto your back. You might need to adjust your lower back. And then walk your feet back up a little closer. So basically you're just inching yourself down into a supine bound angle. So Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a pose that is believed also to be quite beneficial when we're looking at things like IVF. So again, when we're talking about uterine blood flow, and then again, we're looking at opening the hips, which in yogic terms also, so there's a belief within the yoga community that the hips store a lot of emotions, usually emotions that we might need to process in some way. So the hips might store sadness or frustration. They're often referred to as the junk drawers of the body. And I certainly have found this to be true both in my personal practice and in my teaching practice, that hip openers can be very emotional. So just always allow. So if you get weepy in a class, allow it. If you feel a big joyful opening or release, allow it, breathe into it. Basically, it's just all allowing. Okay, take one more breath here. I know this can be an intense one. Oh. Bring the legs back together. Adjust your back as you may need, okay? And then walk your heels up towards your bottom as close as is comfortable. Take your feet to a hip distance stance, squaring the toes forward. Draw your arms down to the sides of your body. Push through your feet. So you're pushing into the ball, the side, the heel of each foot. And then I want you to inhale. Sorry, I know it's going super shadowy. I don't know how to deal with that other than, I don't know. It's when I get close to the screen, it makes it light again, but then it goes dark. Okay, so you're gonna lift the hips, lift the pelvis, lift the bottom off the floor, and then interlace your fingers under your body, drawing your palms toward each other and walking the shoulders in so that the shoulders are hugging the spine. So we're coming into our bridge pose, into Sati Bandhasana. This is another fantastic pose for so many reasons. The ones that I think particularly are important to mention are that bridge pose is good for the thyroid gland, which has massive metabolic consequences. It's also good for your adrenal glands, which take on a lot of stress. So just giving these glands a little bit of a massage here. Then roll up into the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Okay. And then unwind your arms, unwind your hands, bring your shoulders down, bring your back down, and then pop the knees in toward the chest, hug the legs. Take a moment just to sigh it out. And then interlace your fingers over your left, or over your right shin, flexing your right foot. And then take your left leg up into the sky and flex that foot like you're holding up the ceiling. Exhale, take that left leg straight down. Oh. And then unwind your fingers and take your right foot down to the ground, but with that knee still bent. And walk your right foot toward your left inner thigh. And then from there, I want you to turn that right knee out to the side. So then the right foot is just hanging out somewhere on the inside of the left leg. And we take the arms up and we interlace the fingers, point the index fingers and the thumbs, and then draw the arms down towards the side of your head. And I want you to take a nice long stretch. So this is our supine tree. Okay. And take your hands all the way back up and just turn that right foot so that it's coming back to the floor. Adjust your back as you need. And then draw your left knee into your chest, interlacing the fingers over the left shin. Flex the foot. And then we take the right leg up into the sky, flexing that foot, holding up the ceiling, taking the stretch through the back of that leg. And then let that right leg come all the way down, coming into that knee to chest stretch. Okay, take the left foot, bring it down to the ground, interlace your fingers, pointing the index fingers and the thumbs. Draw your arms down towards the sides of your head. And then let that left knee turn out to the side as the left foot comes into the right thigh. Oh, and again, take that long, long stretch there. Okay. Start to take your arms back up, turn that leg back up. And then bend both knees and place the feet on the ground. Adjust the back however you need. And just pop the knees in toward the chest. Hug your legs. Take a moment just to sigh out there. And then gently again, release your feet down to the ground. Adjust your back however you need so that you're comfortable. And then we're going to do something that I'm not sure if we've ever done in the fertility sessions before. So we're going to do a little bit of a breathing exercise, but it's also an exercise that helps to open up the body. And it relates to the idea also, oh, I know it's going really dark again. Okay, I'm going to sit up so I can show you this. So you just lie down and I'm going to come closer and show you. So as you're lying down, I want you to now take your index finger and middle fingers on both sides. And I want you to, as you exhale, very gently push into that little divot where your rib cage starts to separate. So you should naturally be able to find a spot there. And I want you to exhale, blow the air out of your mouth and gently push in. So it's, and then inhale, release the fingers and exhale. And we're going to do this a few times, but I want you to think of yourself as a massage therapist for yourself. So if a massage therapist just dove into your body, pushing with all of their weight, your body would instantly tighten and reject. So in the same way now, we're not just diving in, but we're just taking our time, gradually pushing in more and more as the body opens to it. And take a few more. And just keep this going at your own pace. And there are beliefs about this type of movement, and we're going to do a couple other things here too. But there are beliefs about this movement with regards to the fascia. And I've seen people after doing a session of these types of breathing and massages, breath and massage exercises, suddenly have a massive opening in their shoulders, which would seem really odd, especially given that we're not working on the shoulders. And yet it's because the body is so interconnected that often when we start to release tension from one part of the body, it allows another part of the body to also open. Okay, let's take one more. And then I want you to fan your fingers out along your ribs there. Mind the floating ribs near the bottom, near where the pinkies will be. And then I just want you to push in and cup the ribs on that exhale. And you might be getting a new experience of your body, that vulnerability that we have, just like a dog or a cat, right? That when they show you their belly, they're showing you that either they're submissive or that they trust you. They're showing you their most vulnerable, vital parts. And do this 3 more times, but as you do, I just want you to do really gentle little circles with the fingers as you push in. And this is something, of course, that you can play with on your own if you find that there's something to this for you, that this is something you can play with just in that breathing and massaging and gently exploring that self massage of the abdomen. Okay, take one more. And then bring your fingers back to that divot spot where the ribs separate and take one last big inhale. Exhale, gently press in, massage around. And then place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And just sigh out a few times. And then close your eyes. Breathe as you need, either deeply or naturally. And then take a moment again to just appreciate your body. That you have this heart pumping blood, this brain full of electricity. Muscles and a skeleton that just move without you having to work too hard for it most of the time. And just remember that so far you have been resilient. You have survived every illness and every injury. You have survived every heartache. You have survived a global pandemic. So take a moment to just appreciate that inner wellspring that exists for you. And just remember that it's there. And bring some movement back into your beautiful fingers and toes. And gently roll to one side. And bring yourself all the way back up to seated. And just take your hands into prayer in front of the heart. Gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice, this earth. And thank you all so much for coming this evening. Sorry about the internet lapse in the middle. Yeah, so that's it for this week, but back at the, what have you just said? Windscreen wipers, peeing dog. I'm glad that you liked it, Zoe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my neighbors in Oxfordshire, after the pandemic started, probably found me more nuts than they already did, because I'm sure they could see me in my conservatory teaching yoga and they would hear me going, ah. So, I'm glad. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed. So those of you who are new this week, I do put all of the sessions up on a public YouTube playlist on my YouTube channel. So you can find me under this name there. Oops, I think I just sent that. Did I just send that? I just sent that to one person. Sorry guys, hold on. Let me send that to everyone. Okay, so I'm so glad that you always sleep well afterwards. Yay. I'm glad. So yeah, so that's my name, and you can find the YouTube channel on there. You can also find free meditations on the free app Insight Timer, if you would like, which is that. And it's not just me on Insight Timer. I think there's over 80,000 meditations on there that you can do freely. So yeah. Okay. Have a really beautiful week, guys. And I will see you next Thursday and in 2 weeks. So I mean, I'll be home in less than 2 weeks, but in 2 Thursdays, not this one, but the next one, the dogs and the cats will be back because I'll be home with them again. So yeah. All right, guys, have a really, really beautiful week, and see you soon.